Hey everyone, this is Damon.
And Amada.
And we're back with Mike Bloxam.
Howdy.
Hopefully we got everything fixed this time and we are back on schedule, hopefully, and we're talking about Quantum Leap, episode 4, A Decent Proposal. So this was an interesting episode. I think
Love this one.
Yeah, I think we should just let everybody know what like the little synopsis was. So Ben leaps to 1980s Los Angeles and into the body of, what was it, Ava? What's her name? Ava Sandoval? A no-nonsense bounty hunter in the midst of securing an elusive target. Ben remembers more about his own life. Mm-hmm. So the date was 1977, which... No, 1981.
81.
I was thinking of episode 3. Sorry, 1981.
Hello, I was born in 1981.
Yes. Sorry, I was getting confused with the last episode. So, who wants to talk about it first? Want to do it, Mike, or?
Sure.
You kind of start us off with this, so.
Yeah. Well, I really liked this episode. It, again, like last week's, it felt like Quantum Leap. It just had all the heart and soul of the original series, and if this is how the rest of the season's going to go, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. Just on a personal note, it was the first time we watched it live. Our internet provider gave us a free trial for 3 weeks out of the blue. It's sort of a cable package, but it's through an app on our Google Chromecast, so we're now able to watch live TV, which I feel like I haven't done in over a decade. So it was an odd feeling having to wait through commercials.
Yeah. That's what you were saying. It's like, I hate watching commercials. But...
I know, right? It was bizarre. It was a big throwback. But anyway, it was great to be able to watch it live, and now we can do the video a day earlier, which is always good too.
At least for 3 weeks.
Yeah. But back to the episode. This was fun. As soon as he said bounty hunter, though, I was like, oh, Sam was a bounty hunter once.
Yep.
This was a very different kind of bounty hunter. And it was interesting how I don't think they ever specifically said the date, but the wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana were on in the background.
Very heavily in the background.
Yeah, I think it's July 29th, I believe, was...
Right,
yeah. So that was it. That was how we knew. I was like, they did say the year, but they didn't say the date.
She did say it. She said it. I'm sure she said it.
Yeah, she did. She did say 1981.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like they haven't been specifically calling out the dates. It's more of a... They kind of tease you along a bit. They give you the year, but then the date doesn't really get revealed till later, or you have to know your history to find out what the date was. So
Right.
That's an interesting twist that they're doing now. The big thing that I think took away from this outside of the leap was the Magic's scene with Ian talking about his past, and I was thinking, oh wow, there were episodes in the virtual seasons about this. How would people remember? How much would they remember? Would they know? And I was just giddy.
The flashback.
Literally, Mike, I got off of the couch and rolled on my knees in front of the TV.
Like, yeah, she got really close to the TV.
I was just like enthralled, and I'm like, yes, this is so cool. I did.
So speaking of that was interesting how he kind of explained what happened to him. Mm-hmm. He said he felt a nudge.
In his heart.
Right in here, right? Like, yeah, and he's like, it was like almost like Sam was asking permission.
Yes.
To come in, and he's like, I let him in. I let something in, and I allowed it, and then I wake up a day later, and
all that stuff
this stuff had happened. So it was just...
And he has vivid memories of Sam, specifically, like his face, his persona, and he remembered him, and I just... I'm just going to say it right now. To all you people who are arguing about the whole theory of two people in one body, hello? You not heard of, like, spiritualism and, like, mediums and, like, possessions and, like, things like that? Like, sometimes you're just told something, like a guardian angel. And I've had those experiences personally where I have felt something tell me to calm down, slow down, move back, and then I didn't get in a car accident.
Yeah, right.
Like, I've literally had those experiences in my life. So when that happened and I heard Magic say that, I was just like, that is so cool. That's really like what Sam was trying to do, was just try to help people.
Yeah. I feel like maybe it could be also he had that sixth sense and intuitiveness thing, so maybe it was a little more special for him. I just kind of thought about, like, well, maybe that's how it was for him, and it was like maybe a little more of an awareness.
Right.
But, yeah.
Makes you wonder.
And the other thing I will say about that is it didn't. I'm trying to think of how to explain that. That it didn't necessarily negate anything we're thinking of. Like, it's like I didn't get an impression necessarily that they were kind of retconning him being in a waiting room. There's nothing in there that kind of implies that. I hope that, as much as we're saying that I don't mind this new way that they're doing things and that, like, things have to evolve, I hope they don't retcon that.
Right.
Because there was a waiting room, and if they say there wasn't, then you are changing what you've already established. I didn't necessarily get that from this. I'm kind of throwing it out there now.
Yeah.
That hopefully that's not exactly what they were implying, but I did like that whole scene. That was,
I did too.
I kind of knew that was coming up too, and they said it was going to be that he was going to explain it. So it's just that was
so exciting.
Yeah.
It was masterfully done.
And what else?
The script and Ernie Hudson's acting just was bang on.
Yeah. This is the first time we've really gotten him. Like, I haven't had much of a feel for his character yet. For even Jen, we got stuff in the second episode. But this was like he finally got like a little moment to shine. I'm like, okay, this is.
Yeah, because even my mom was confused about Jen's character, and I was like, wait a minute. She's literally, like, wearing black and white in, like, every scene. So she's the person that's supposed to be in between, and then she said it in this episode. What did she say? She said she's the one that has to be the person that, like, dissolves the information. I don't know what the word is for it, but she said it. She's like, I'm the person that has to dissolve the information and figure out what's right and wrong.
Absorb the information, maybe? I don't know.
She said something
like
in the episode, and it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. She's wearing white and black, and she's talking to, Addison, who was wearing, like, a deer hunter's color, or a deer color, deer in the headlights type of thing. And I took script analysis, so when I see the colors on the screen and they're doing it right, it's like, okay, yeah, she's supposed to be, like, in the woods, like, trying to figure it out. And then you've got the person that's wearing the black and the white and, like, in between and going, it could be this way or it could be that way, and we have to be aware. So, Magic's experience was so cool. It was
probably the coolest moment of the whole episode.
I haven't fell on my knees in a long time like that.
I know. We're talking about that scene, but so just the whole idea of him. This is the first time he's a woman.
Right.
The one thing that I guess that's what it was I remember saying it last night watching it, and like you said, it was like the previous episode. It felt more like Quantum Leap. I just didn't quite like it as much, and maybe part of it was because I know they're trying to play it safe, but I feel like he should have been a little more weirded out that he was a woman. Addison kind of even joked around about it. There's something that you feel like you're missing down there, and I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I think they're trying to play it a little too safe because they don't want it to seem so overboard like the way it was in the original show. But I don't know. I just feel like there could have been a little more something to that.
But his first experience was that he was a black man, so
race is not so much of a thing as just the
I don't know.
Gender
I don't know that that's exactly correct. I think you've lived your whole life a certain way, and the fact that he was like this old black man all of a sudden, it was like, it's nothing compared to being a woman. But she hit the nail on the head when she was like, oh good, in your first 20 seconds you got harassed, you got felt up, you got yelled at and insulted, and yep, you're a woman. And I was just like, yep, that's what it was like. So
like you got
totally
that whole
true.
experience, yeah.
So I feel like she, with just those words itself, it was like she kind of hit that part of what he was supposed to feel with the words, and then it was like, okay, now what do we do?
Yeah.
He seems like that kind of character, just like, what am I here to do? How do I get it done? How do I get it done?
Yeah.
And also, he's Asian. I dated an Asian. They're not very emotional. So, just, they're supposed to hide all their emotions. And so I'm just wondering if that's like in something, you know.
Or I've heard too, he could be just more analytical.
He's very analytical, and I get him.
Yeah.
I get him. But I know what you're saying too, you know, and she made that reference, Ian made the reference about wearing stockings in the 80s. I hate stockings. I hate them.
No, Jen said that.
Oh, Jen said that, yeah.
Yes, something about the pantyhose.
Stockings. She wasn't wearing pantyhose, so he was just maybe wearing a bra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that also Ian made that one reference that was, a gender creative experience, and I missed it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We haven't heard anything. That was like a little thing. Like, okay,
because you would have thought maybe there could have been some more insider help with that, but Ben is on the case. He is literally like, he's like a fireball, you know? He's so different than Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what else. She was definitely having fun with that, Addison. She was like really, like... She was enjoying watching, like, what he was going through.
Yeah.
And then, like, all the music. The music was on point.
Oh, the music was great.
Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me?
We were, like, dancing on the side. We're like, yeah.
Blondie, one way or another.
Blondie.
That was perfect.
Do you notice that, remember in the original, when Sam leaped to 1981... Blondie was playing Call Me, and this is 1981, and they used Blondie again. I don't know if that was just a coincidence or not, but you never know.
Blondie's a good time.
Yeah.
All there is to it.
What was it? The Go-Go's? It was...
I don't remember.
What
you
was
have to remind me of the episode.
No, that was in this one, the Go-Go's. Oh, yeah, we got the beat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of music. That was great.
Dreamweaver.
They played Dreamweaver?
Yeah.
In this?
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that.
Yeah, it was like right at the beginning.
No, that was Don't You Want Me. I don't know. I don't remember hearing that part. What else? Oh, he mentioned like, and he knocked out the guy. And it's like, were you doing like boxing on the side?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That was great.
I like that reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like so far he's remembering at least parts of his leaps. Whereas Sam, I guess more... The original series was a bit more serialized, not serialized. It was a bit more episodic. So I wonder if we're going to see that Ben's kind of building up a repertoire of skills and knowledge through all the people he's...
I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
That's what I said. The whole thing about like the space and time thing and taking over something. It seems like when Sam did it, there was a part of him that was left behind with magic that magic kind of remembers, or he really remembers, and he can't get it out of his head. And now Ben has leapt into all of these people, and he has taken on the personas the way that Sam did in shock therapy.
Mm.
And
it's
like, obviously, like they said in the very first episode, whenever you're entangled, you're going to combine your energy in some way. And yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think that's where they're heading with this.
Yeah. A lot of the references were great. You know, I saw like little Tower Records at the beginning. And then there's the part where she's like, I'll throw in a Walkman for you. Which is
she was like, I've got a $500 bill.
Throwing in all the 80s stuff.
$24 in a Walkman. What?
Yeah, you like the Elle Woods reference.
Oh my god, I'm totally a Legally Blonde fan. Love that movie.
You have a resume? It's pink.
And it's scented. I think it gives it a little something extra.
I even love the second movie, even though it's like over the top. I was like, what?
And the other big thing was really what I'm saying, what she does with the hand link. What was the thing with the hand link that she was doing? I have that on my notes.
Oh,
like,
she was showing like, something on her
right when she's telling him about all the stuff, and she's like talking about the showing the file. I think right, the profile for whatever her name is for their bounty.
Yeah,
who we find out is like the main villain, like the mustache twirling villain, as some people say. But that was really cool. It was like it's kind of like what we saw when Al was chasing after Styles in the car and the little readout.
Right.
I just caught that just now, but we actually got it off of her handling, which I thought was really that's I like the stuff that they're doing there with the handling and making things different.
Yeah, really putting it on the stage and making it bigger, and
it
does make you wonder where they're going with that too. If it's just a perk from technology being better.
I think it's supposed to be like the advancements of the whole. I mean, it's been 30 years. Obviously, things are going to be a little bit different. And I kind of wish that people would remember that a little bit. Like, I'm seeing things in the groups about, like, people arguing about this is the way it worked. I'm like, but 30 years have passed. Like,
yeah.
Exactly.
And they obviously said that they uploaded a data and they addressed it. Now they're going to be, like, looking into all of the rabbit holes of where he's been prior to the 6 months or 4 months before he got that code that he uploaded. And now they're going to have to look at Addison's phone and where she's been and all of their credit card statements to figure out, like, what has he been working on and where has he been.
Right. So the thing that I will bring up now also is when is it Ian that's it's usually Ian that's saying what's going on with that it's when they're talking about what they think Janice is doing, because we didn't see Janice in this episode.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they think that Janice is not only is trying to use Ziggy, because Ziggy usually tries to predict, like, the ripple effect of what's happened in the past to affect the present.
Yeah.
And now it seems like Janice
is trying to predict the future.
Trying to predict what they're all doing now in the present as to affecting the future. So things that I was like some other people that I've watched and things that I have this crazy theory now, and I think it all has to do with what Janice said in the very beginning, the very first line, the first episode. She says the window is closing, right? That's what she texted Ben, that the window is closing, and I think maybe that dot that we're seeing, Ben's destination. This is kind of an out there theory that I don't know if this is kind of going beyond Quantum Leap is, but it's what if that destination isn't so much around Sam, but maybe it's like it's a pinpointing, like, the very near future, like, let's say May of 2023 when season 1 would end. Maybe they know that something is about to happen in the future, like in the very near future, and maybe Ben and Janice got information. It could be that Sam gave them this information, or another time traveler from the future. Maybe they're trying to change something catastrophic or something that's going to happen, and part of the trajectory of what Ben is doing is all of these leaps are going to be connected, and each leap is going to cause a ripple, and do this and do that and do that
to clean up
that by the time he gets there, and they said the window's closing, which means that, okay, you need to have done this to put all of this into motion so that by the time you reach this leap that things will be in place to change it. Something like that. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
You're talking about a paradox. You're talking about Ben is cleaning up after Sam.
No. I'm saying that maybe every leap that Ben is doing right now, the people that he affects in each of these leaps is going to cause a ripple that they will affect each other in a way that will kind of. Well, you didn't really know, like remember in Star Trek Generations with the Nexus and how it tried to destroy each planet to change the trajectory so that it would come to him?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's almost like reshaping the timeline so that maybe they either negate what's about to happen because this person will do this and this person will do that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's kind of a complicated scenario. But
my simple version of what you are talking about is that I think that she wants to clean up something. And I think that I agree with your theory. But I think that she's trying to clean up something, but I also think that she's also really actively trying to figure out a way to get Sam home, because if he doesn't come home and Magic doesn't remember all of this and reactivates Quantum Leap, the way that they're doing it now, they are recording everything, and that means if they can get control over the leaps, that is catastrophic. I mean, governmentally wise, no, it is catastrophic for whoever is in charge.
Depending on who uses it.
Whoever uses this is a very, very powerful device.
And well, maybe they've already figured it out in the future, and that's what they're trying to change.
Maybe. I mean, I'm looking at it and going, they're recording this, they're seeing this, the government is taking in this information. They didn't get it. Al was the one that had to tell them everything that was happening. But now, everything is being recorded. All of everything that Addison is doing, they're looking into her phone records now. They're looking into, they're going into a database scrape. And I'm just thinking, they find something that really went wrong and really changed history. Like, America is not America anymore. You know, like, there are some serious damage that can happen, you know, like with changing the world. And in not the way that Sam wanted to do it. If it gets into the wrong hands.
Yeah. I kind of feel like they're
that's where I'm going with this. We'll find out.
Maybe they're leaning in that direction a little because it's time travel and anything is possible.
It's time travel and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous to change stuff.
Yeah.
The way we're looking at it is these people, the both leapers have big hearts and they want to only help people around them. You know? But then you know, we're looking at it now and we're like, well, who's right? You know? Who's the... Again, we still don't know if Ben was right or wrong with what he did.
Yeah.
Right.
So, going back to Sam for a minute, you saw how Ian got after that whole revelation, and he's talking about, you see how emotional they were getting about what happened to Sam. We're not going to let that happen to Ben. We're going to bring him home. Like, I think they're really stressing that. Like, I think we said it while we were watching it. Like, I'm kind of leaning toward the idea that but the season's going to end with maybe they bring him home, and then they might change everything. Like, maybe,
and then Addison gets sucked in.
Or something, or they'll just... I think that's the storyline for this. And then even on that note, if they find Sam... Because I've seen this going around, too. They were like, oh, well, they got to bring Sam home. I don't think Sam's ever going to return home. I think he's made that choice. I think subconsciously, Sam knows that this is more important than being home. What does he have to come home to anymore?
So he turned into an angel.
No, not necessarily. He could be retiring to Al's place, for all we know. He could be at the bar... chilling out.
I don't think he wants to hang out with coal miners his whole life.
No, but if Al's place is this nexus where it's like this,
it was not cool. It's not any place I think Sam would be.
No, I think this is like a place where leapers go for respite or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
That's kind of like the idea. I just lost my train of thought. Like what would Sam do if he came home? He's going to sit behind a desk and calculate equations. Like, that's not what he wants to do. He wanted to travel in time, and that's what he's doing, so I don't think he's ever coming home. I think we'll see him...
Unless he comes home to help.
I think we'll see him eventually, but I don't think they're going to bring him home. And that, at least, is a resolution to his character. So, it's kind of going off on a little tangent, because we don't know anything yet.
We don't know.
There are no certainties where that's concerned. I think the other main thing was just what I really liked. We saw that... Ben is now basically remembering.
Yeah.
Addison.
And all the hints that the theme seemed to be that, you know, like everything's right in front. What was the exact words that he said? The father said it. The answer is always in front of you. You just have to see it. So, and that was the theme throughout the whole episode. And then it finally got to him and he's remembering. So, and I think they're going to keep it that way.
Yeah.
You think he'll remember on the next leap?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like
so.
It's not going to be like the reset button every...
Right.
Like we're saying, it's like the Star Trek reset. Everything goes back to normal from one... Because this is like a serialized thing.
Well, I mean, and Sam was the same way. He would forget something, but then he'd remember it, and then he would remember it again.
But I think they're building on, this, like you said, this repertoire of...
experiences.
Yeah, and memories.
And personalities.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that was a great shot at the end where he's finally like they're touching, but they're not touching hands. that was like,
Yeah.
yeah. There was a lot of good stuff to it. Justin,
I cried.
well, I mean, Justin Hartley was like the big main guest star. He said special guest star at the beginning. He was from, if people don't know, he's from This Is Us. I'm saying the original Green Arrow, but he's Green Arrow from Smallville. That's where I remember him from. So you don't know anything
Kevin
about
from
that.
This Is Us.
Yeah, or
I didn't watch Smallville either.
you don't watch Smallville?
No, I never.
Oh,
It's okay, Mike. It's okay.
I watched like the last 4 seasons of it. And he was pretty good in that. That's why I was like, oh yeah, I like him. He's good. Yeah, I didn't know that him and whatever her name was, they're real life husband and wife.
Yeah, I saw that online as well after. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
I took a look at her again and I go, oh, they do kind of look alike. You know, people usually look alike, stay together longer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like animals. People with their pets, when you see people walking their dogs, they kind of look like their dogs. Except for me and my dog. she was handed to me.
Yeah. The only other thing of note is
that was kind of cool.
Yeah, the only other thing of note is you would probably be more familiar with this, Mike. That the director was Rachel Talalay, which I think she's like of Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
The new Doctor Who stuff. Because I don't watch Doctor
we
Who.
haven't seen-
No, I haven't watched it either.
I just remember hearing a lot of like especially like everybody who's like from England. They're like Rachel Talalay. Like
Oh yeah, her name does sound familiar.
Like, who is that? Like, oh, apparently she's big with Doctor Who. So, for any Doctor Who fans, that's who directed this episode. And I don't know what else she's really done, but yeah, it was a very good episode. I think I got all my points across. Was there anything else that?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention one little, I guess, Easter egg, if you want to call it. Another similarity between Ben and Sam was she mentioned that when he was a kid, he would take things apart and reassemble them. And I don't know which episode of the original series it was, but I swear there was a line about Sam doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe
when he went home.
Misremembering, but I thought there was something like he took apart.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Al mentioned that at some point that he has like a really good photographic memory and he would be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he would like take it apart to see how it works and then put it back together. And
Maybe the Galaxy Boy one.
Future Boy.
Oh, Future Boy, maybe.
Yeah.
See, I don't remember so many things that even I don't remember everything.
And they've been playing it on
show.
Sci-Fi like in repeats, like Quantum Leap. And we just watched the one where he was the monkey again, and he was like, "I don't know how to work this thing." And he's like, "Well, I think not to peer on the neighbor, but I think you're supposed to put the lights, according to the lights." And and there might have been like a little bit of something in that, but yeah, I think you're right. I think that's interesting. Mm-hmm. So pretty similar.
Yeah. Well, that's about all I can think of.
I just like the callbacks that they're doing to kind of honor the fact that, these two guys, these two leapers do have a lot in common.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also just like that things are happening quickly. I think it's just a byproduct of we got to tell a story in 42 minutes. Like we used to have like at least almost 10 more minutes of screen time because we just have more commercials nowadays than we did 30 years ago. So it's like we got to get this done quickly. And I mean, there was like hardly anything going on at the project this week. Or it didn't seem like it.
Well, Magic revealing to Ian, and then Ian missing out on the bleep.
But other than that, there wasn't a lot going on. It's they
were focusing more on the leap.
Yeah, I don't know how long that'll last, but
I think it's a good balance. I like what you're saying, Mike. I like more of the story of what's he doing and how is he changing the world, and then how are they helping him on the back end. We maybe 30% on that side of the NCIS, CSI.
Like less of that
stuff. 20-30% of that. Okay. The rest of it, we want to know what Sam is doing or Ben is doing with Addison. And there was a little girl at Storytime whose name was Addison.
Oh, really?
And I almost said, do you know Quantum Leap?
She's not going to know Quantum Leap. No, she's not going to know Quantum Leap.
She was very cute, though.
Yeah, well, that's about... Like I said, we kind of took up a bit more of the conversation this time.
That's okay.
Sorry, Mike. But...
it's all good.
Yeah, I think I got out pretty much what I wanted to say about that. I guess we're I guess that's it, really.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
So
Thank you.
And then next week is we're going back to the Old West.
The Old West.
Yeah.
It's what is I think they said in the preview.
She said
it's like
abuelo, so they're
I guess he's a Mexican cowboy.
speaking Native Americans
or something, yeah.
which are like my family. That's what my family was, and the only thing I could think of was that old guy.
Yeah, he's going to be older.
The old guy when he jumped in to save the grandfather, and I'm just wondering, like, is that tied?
Oh,
From the last gunfighter.
yeah. Well, that's I remember weeks ago. I was thinking that, and I'm like, I wonder how each leap is gonna. Cause I said that in one of the groups too. I'm like, that's why I thought maybe like the boxer episode, maybe there'd be a reference to Kid Cody, but there wasn't. I'm thinking this one, maybe is there going to be a reference to Tyler Means? That was who he leaped into, or something with the Claggett brothers or whatever. Or I don't know.
But I was talking
could
about the
early,
other Indian guy.
Oh,
The
Freedom.
funny one.
Oh, Freedom.
Yeah, the one that just wanted to die on the reservation.
Oh, I don't know about that. It was.
He seemed like he only spoke Indian. These people
They were more
Indian, Mexican.
Yeah, this seemed more like she called him abuelo, which is grandfather.
Yeah.
Right. So he looked like he's like an older Mexican
Older
or whatever.
Indian Mexican.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that episode because I've never quite been a fan of the Western genre. But and also,
future.
Yeah, I like it, but it's my least favorite.
Great Scott. I know, this is heavy.
We'll talk about it next week. But anyway, that was our review of A Decent Proposal.
A Decent Proposal.
And for some reason, it was going to be called Midnight Run for like a brief minute. And I think because Midnight Run was about like bounty hunter Robert De Niro chasing after Charles Grodin. Oh. So I don't know. I don't know Weird. Why. I like A Decent Proposal. I like that.
Yeah.
That title a lot better. So anyway, that was our review.
That was our review.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me once again.
Yeah. So so next week it's called Salvation or Bust. That is the title of the next episode.
Okay.
So interesting. So we'll see how it goes. So thanks, Mike. And
thank you.
Yep. So until next time, everyone, this is Damon.
And Amada. And
Mike.
And Mike. Make sure to
like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.